This week, we had the crazy news ranging from Facebook saying that their Quest 3 headset is going to have facial and eye tracking, to the Apple VR and AR glasses having their prices and release date leaked, to the PlayStation VR 2 maybe coming wirelessly, and a lot of news from HTC Vive. Now let's get right into the news. So the first big story of the day is that HTC Vive is actually saying that their next generation of standalone headsets is coming in 2021. But keep in mind that this is not going to be a Quest competitor. Now, what does this mean? Well, actually what HTC said is that they are working on an all-in-one standalone headset and that they're going to be releasing them this year. And it's also going to be a great product which is going to be blowing away all the competition so far. But they said that it's not going to be a Quest competitor. Now, what does this mean? As some of you might know, is that HTC Vive actually already has their own standalone headset, which is called the Vive Focus. But the reason why a lot of you might not know about this is because this Vive Focus was only released in the West on an enterprise level, which means it was not a consumer option to buy this headset. It was only released for consumers in China, which is not a great thing. Because of this, the Vive Focus wasn't really any competition to the Quest at all. Besides it being more expensive in the first place, it was never released on a consumer level anyways. So what does this mean? That their next generation of headset is coming. Does this mean the Vive Focus 2 is coming and it will be released for consumers? Or does this mean it's going to be another Vive Focus, but it's again going to be only on an enterprise level? Well, this would be very bad news. Since they're saying it's not going to be a Quest competitor, this might actually be the case. But of course, we still have hope that this next Vive Focus 2 will actually be a consumer-focused product, not only in China, but also in the West and in other parts of the world. But this was not the only HTC Vive announcement. So last week, we talked about the tweet that HTC Vive was tweeting out, and they were hinting at some kind of product, and most of us thought it was actually a new headset. But it turns out it was actually HTC Vive Pro Facial Tracker that they were teasing. And what we can see from this is that HTC Vive is actually having this new module released that we can buy already this month for $129. So it's not going to come any cheap. But what it does, it's going to track your face, meaning your movement of your mouth, your nose, your face in general. And as some of you might know, this is actually a very good thing for VR. Because when, for example, you are in VR chat or anything else, when you're communicating with someone, right now, if you're talking, your mouth moves because of the way you talk. But it's not accurate at all. So if there's a way to track our mouth movement and track our facial tracking in general, this could be very much more adding to the immersion of VR in a whole, and also just for anything communicative. So imagine anything like Zoom in VR or VR chat in general. It would be so much more realistic if you can see realistic mouth movements, realistic facial tracking. The only problem is it's $129, which is not cheap at all, and it only works with the Vive Pro headset. And keep in mind, this is again something they add on their headset. It's not a cheap thing, but it's only for the Vive Pro headset. So it's very small consumer group that is actually going to be able to use this. And as we're going to talk about later, is the Quest 3 might already have this in their headset for the next generation, so not as an extra module. Now, another announcement that HTC Vive made is that they have their new trackers. Their new generation of trackers, which are going to be 15% lighter and 30% more expensive. Now, this is a funny way of saying it, but basically what HTC announced is their next generation of trackers. So HTC Vive has been making trackers so that you can use them on your body so that you can have full body tracking in VR, which is great for immersion as well. Because again, instead of just using your controllers to walk, you could physically walk with your legs, you could dance, you could move, and it could actually be tracked in real time in VR. That's great, but again, now HTC Vive made a new generation of this tracking system, but it's going to be $129 again. This is just even more expensive to their previous generation, which was already $100. And a lot of people already thought this was way too expensive. So it's great that Vive is actually working on new products, but to summarize it up, what they announced right now is a facial tracking unit and a normal body tracking unit, which are both $130 each. And this is a lot of money. HTC Vive was already not doing so well. Competitive-wise, Facebook was crushing them with low prices for the Quest 2, no add-ons specifically that were very expensive, while HTC Vive was not selling many headsets and now also making new add-ons for those very specific headsets. I don't know if this is a very good move from HTC Vive. Of course, hearing they're making their new standalone headset is great, but if this is the right direction, only time will tell. But I think this might cost HTC Vive even more money on the long run. But we will see. Also, it's important to note that these Vive Trackers 3.0 are actually going to be available on March 24th already. So maybe some of you might get them. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. Are they worth the money? I don't know really, but let me know. Anyways, for the next big story is something completely different, and it is Apple's VR headsets and AR glasses. The release date and their prices have been leaked and been rumored. So what we know so far is that Apple has been working very hard on AR glasses or a VR headset. We've seen many patents and many concepts, but so far we haven't seen real proof pictures or real proof videos or anything from Apple themselves. Only besides concept being leaked or people telling what they know or what they think is going to be actually happening with these headsets. But we recently got more leaks is that actually the VR headset might be coming as soon as in 2022. Now, this is a lot quicker than a lot of you might think because it's next year already. And they think that this headset is going to feature color cameras so that it's not only going to be for VR, but it's also going to be for mixed reality. And it's going to be sort of like an Oculus Quest, but thinner, lighter, and more powerful. Of course, you can imagine if you make a thinner, more powerful, and lighter Oculus Quest 2, and you're going to put the brand name Apple on it, it's not going to come anytime cheap. But it's said to have 8K panels and up to 12 cameras, and the target price would be around $3,000, which is quite insane if you think about it. But on the other side, we're talking about Apple right here. But the thing is, actually, we had another leak about the price that it actually might be closer to $1,000, which is actually great news because a VR headset with such high specs from such a big company for $1,000, it might sound expensive, but this could actually be a push that VR needs to sell so much more. Another thing that they say is that the Apple prototypes are currently weighing around 200 to 300 grams. Keep in mind that the Oculus Quest 2 right now weighs 500 grams. Already just 200 grams less is a lot of difference. It's half the weight of the Oculus Quest 2, which is a huge improvement because it's going to be less front heavy and great for movement and long periods of time of wear. Now, there's also rumors about the AR glasses of Apple. The only sad news that we have about this is that this one, compared to the VR glasses, are actually going to be pushed back more. So instead of thinking about seeing them in 2023, we're now having the suggestion that the Apple AR glasses might come in 2025, if not later. So 2025 at the earliest. This is very reasonable because AR technology is still very far on its way to actually becoming usable for mainstream products. So it's good that Apple might wait till the technology evolves, till the technology is good enough to actually put it in a consumer product. And exciting news about the new VR headset is great news, and I can't wait to actually see what Apple pulls off. So let's hope we get more news about that soon, and I will be sure to cover it on this channel. Now, one other big news story is that Mark Zuckerberg actually said that their Oculus Quest 3 and 4 might have face and eye tracking. So, as a lot of you know, face and eye tracking is a big feature in VR that a lot of us want. And the reason for that is immersion. If we can be tracked with our eyes and look at certain things and other people can see where we're looking, how we're talking, this adds a lot to the immersion. Till now, it's only been that the computer tells them where they think you're looking, where they think you're talking. The mouth moves while you talk, but it's not necessarily very accurate. So adding these features would be very great, especially if you could add them in the headset. So like we saw with HTC Vive, they have now a new facial tracker, which is an add-on. If you could add this inside the headset itself, it would be amazing because you don't need any expensive add-ons, especially if it's in the Quest itself. Now, I think Mark Zuckerberg said, one thing is really excited about the future and features that we want in our new Quest headsets, and two of them being eye tracking and face tracking. Because if you really want to get excited and you want to make sure that these devices have all these things baked inside of them, and that's what we're working on for our Quest 3 and our Quest 4. Now, it's very interesting that he already mentions the Quest 4, because this means they're already working far ahead, looking for the next generation and the generation after that. And tipping on this topic is actually that Facebook also is nearing 20% of their employees working on AR and VR. So we can really see that Mark Zuckerberg is really focusing on VR and AR and really pushing it. The reason why is because 20% of their total employees, and you must realize how big of a company Facebook is. Facebook in total right now has 58,000 employees, and 10,000 of those people, if not more, are already working on AR or VR. Now, this is almost 20% of the total amount of the employees of Facebook, which before was only 5% less than 10 years ago. It's growing so fast, and we can really see that Facebook is invested in the VR and AR technology, and it might keep on growing in the future.